Connecticut school removes Year of Our Lord from high school diplomas. We've seen this story before. A Texas college, Trinity University, a Muslim student who was attending there didn't like the idea that in the year of our Lord was on the diplomas, and so he petitioned to have the phrase stricken from the diploma. In this particular case, the school held steady and kept the in the year of our Lord. This particular article on Fox News doesn't really get to the essence of what this debate is all about. It begins with the seniors at a New Haven, Connecticut high school will not be graduating in the year of our Lord this year or any future years, according to the superintendent of schools. The school district has removed the traditional phrase from high school diplomas after someone complained. Now, but it really isn't a traditional phrase, it's a constitutional phrase, and I'll get to that in a moment. And the superintendent, Reginald Mayo, told the New Haven Register, "It's a religious thing. I'm surprised it took this long for someone to notice it. We certainly don't want to offend anyone." Of course, the anyone is one or two people, and you're going to offend thousands of others, but it isn't even really about offense. I picked up the Constitution of the state of Connecticut. Here's what the preamble reads like. The people of Connecticut, acknowledging with gratitude the good providence of God in having permitted them to enjoy a free government, do in order more effectually to define, secure, and perpetuate the liberties, rights, and privileges which they have derived from their ancestors. Now, a couple of things, of course, are in here, and that is we're supposed to have, first, it's in the good providence of God, and to secure and perpetuate the liberties, rights, and privileges, which seems to me would include those people who do want in the year of our Lord in their diplomas. But plus this other statement says that these liberties, rights, and privileges were derived from their ancestors. Now, their ancestors were Christians. If you go back and look at the beginning of Connecticut, you've got the fundamental orders of Connecticut, which were specifically Christian. So the Constitution is acknowledging the Christian heritage of Connecticut. The Constitution itself, in its preamble, talks about the good providence of God, and then further down, in the 11th article, General Provisions, Section 1, it says, members of the General Assembly and all officers, executive and judicial, shall, before they enter on the duties of their respective offices, take the following oath or affirmation. You do solemnly swear or affirm, as the case may be, that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Connecticut, so long as you continue a citizen thereof, and that you will faithfully discharge according to law the duties of the office to the best of your abilities, so help you God. So here we have, within the Constitution of Connecticut's Constitution, acknowledgement of the providence of God, an acknowledgement of their ancestors who gave them the rights and the privileges and the freedoms to operate within the state. And the fundamental orders of Connecticut were specifically Christian. And then there is this oath taken, so help you God. And then within this oath it says, support the Constitution of the United States. And so this takes me back to what is missing in this particular article in Fox, and all of the comments that I read on the Fox site in response to this, in response to this particular thing that was happening in Connecticut. The Constitution of the United States states this is done in the year of our Lord. Just right above George Washington's name, you will see that this is done in convention and so forth and so on in the year of our Lord. So here you have within the Constitution itself an acknowledgement of the phrase in the year of our Lord. So actually, based upon the Constitution in Connecticut, and with the oath of office here, that the people in the state of Connecticut are to support the Constitution of the United States. And since the Constitution of the United States has within it in the year of our Lord, this particular public school in New Haven is in violation of its own Connecticut Constitution and acknowledging God, reference to its ancestors, and all in support of the Constitution of the United States. Now, I don't know if the superintendent, Reginald Mayo, actually has taken this particular oath, but if he did take this particular oath, then he is in violation of it because it does not support the Constitution of the United States. I would like to see somebody in Connecticut check this out. I don't have the means to do that right now. I may try to do that today. But the Constitution of our country states this was done in the year of our Lord. Now, this entire debate, because when I've made the case before that the Constitution of the United States has within it in the year of our Lord, which is a direct reference to Jesus Christ, because it also gives the date 1787, which at that particular time was referenced on the time of the birth of Jesus Christ. It's not just generally religious; it's specifically Christian. I always heard the atheists and the separationists say, "Oh, that was just a convention of the time." Well, if it was a convention of the time, why are they making such a big deal of it today? Because they know that it was not just a convention of the time. If our founding fathers wanted to be secular, wanted to remove every reference, every vestige of God from our founding documents, this would have been a good opportunity to do so. They could have done what France did a few years later in starting their calendar over with a New Year 1, specifically designed to remove any indication that they were at all religious, and certainly whether they were Christian in any way. Our founding fathers did not do that. They kept the Christian calendar. They acknowledged that this was done in the year of our Lord, 1787. And of course, the state constitutions of the time, many of which were specifically Christian, not just generally religious, also made the same type of reference. So, but this is typical. This is a public school. This is taxpayers paying money in order to have their children educated in this school, and I bet you there isn't a single teacher or student in that school, and it's obvious that the superintendent of this particular school has no idea what the Constitution of the United States says, has no idea what their own Constitution says, and has no idea of the history of our nation. These parents ought to be outraged. Of course, I think these Christians ought to get their kids out of there anyway and teach them in their own way, pay for it in your own way, take control of your own child's education. Let the public schools fend for themselves. This is just another indication of how poor the public schools are in their own teaching of history and their own logic. Oaths mean nothing today, and I suspect that Reginald Mayo, who is the superintendent here, is just as ignorant about American history as probably the teachers who are teaching in this particular school.
American Vision is proud to present this year's Worldview Super Conference, July 21st through 24th at North Metro Church, Marietta, Georgia. For more information, visit conference.americanvision.org. That's conference.americanvision.org.